and I'm recording now. So if you can, just let me know if we are on if we are on. Will, do you see us on Facebook Live?
Not yet.
Okay. So we're just gonna give just a few more minutes, guys. Thank you for actually sticking in there with us. I just want to thank all of our participants. Thank y'all, our partners, all you guys that are on Zoom. We just want to thank you guys for jumping on each and every week. Like I said, we are grateful for it. The goal tonight, we talk a lot of mindset, but mindset is what gets us to this point of what happened last Thursday or Friday, I believe it was. But just being able to do to do this business as a team, and we want to actually share with you guys a deal that that we actually did as a team. And we just want to share with you guys how it works. How it works. God blessed us earlier in the year, in the middle of a pandemic, with being able to start this dialing for dollars program. God had actually dropped it into our spirits a couple of years ago, and just the timing, timing wasn't right. But just earlier this year, God just kept nudging us into this opportunity, and finally, the program had been born earlier this year, and we just thank God because Delano had been in place to actually start this, to help start this program. So he's actually the genesis of this Dialing for Dollars program, and it's with pleasure that we share with you guys, one of the deals that we've closed. We've closed a couple of deals, already within the program, but we want to share this one because this one, actually, the whole team, actually worked it, and it just want to kind of share with you guys how this thing works. So yeah, that's the deal, partner. How you doing? Um, how you doing?
I'm blessed, man. Blessed to be here. Grateful for everybody who jumped on tonight to spend some time with us. Uh, you know, of course, give all glory to God Almighty for allowing us to have this platform, just to be able to be heard, and just being able to share information, helpful information. Again, like Tim said, the reason that we put this community together was because we wanted to have we wanted to share a platform and have ways that people can learn and do this business, of course, at a high level, and not have to worry about being sold on anything. I know sometimes we just get tired of where you want to just gather a little bit of information, you want to just learn a little something, and bam, there goes something to where somebody want to charge you something. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with people who got products or services. I'm not against that at all. But we wanted to do a little something different. We feel in our hearts, that God blessed us to learn real estate. And I can honestly say, and I'm sure Tim can attest to the same thing. I was just conversating with my wife about this. I think the night before last, just how good God is and how real estate really changed my life. It changed my life. Me and her was just talking about how I went from not even knowing what my next gig was going to be, whether I was going to work a 9 to 5 or what it was going to be. I just had no idea what it was going to be, what I was going to be doing. I mean, I was literally crying, wondering like, man, what's my next step? What am I going to do? And, God put, real estate on my heart. And, here I am speaking to you guys, sharing information, blessed, trying to be a blessing back, to give, to share my knowledge and what I've learned over the 8 years that I've been in the business, and and not looking for nothing in return. I just want to see everybody that's listening tonight, everybody who's affiliated with Wholesale Us. I just want to see you guys win. I really want to see you guys succeed. And the purpose of this Monday call is mindset over everything. Me and Tim feel that mindset. We always change the percentage. We used to say 90%. We used to say 95%. I will almost say 99%, of life in general, if everything, anything that you want to do, personal, from a personal standpoint, from a spiritual standpoint, from a financial standpoint, it all starts up at top. All starts up at the top. You know, how you think, you know, the actions that you take, the decisions that are made, how you think, how you approach things. You know, all that got to do with the way you think, what your beliefs, what your belief system is like. You know, some of you are not winning because you don't believe. You don't believe that you can do a deal. You don't believe that you can succeed. You don't believe that, you know, you can be that person running a 6-figure or even 7-figure company. You know,
Right.
you don't believe that, you know, and it starts there. It starts with the way you think. It starts with what are you listening to? What are you absorbing on a day-to-day basis? And a lot of those things, you know, it's fundamental stuff. You know, it's things that, you know, of course, it's not going to happen overnight, but you gradually got to believe better. You got to think better. You got to believe better. You got to think better in order for a change to happen. And it starts with you first taking accountability for wanting to be better, a better man, a better woman. You know, it starts with you. My journey started, you know, with me just looking myself in the mirror, you know, and just saying, man, it's something got to give, something's got to change. You know, I got to want more, I got to want to do better. And it's a lot of work involved. You know, a lot of us look at life and, you know, we fantasize or we look at what other people are doing on social media, and we want to be that, or a lot of people want to admire what other people are doing. But what you don't realize is you didn't see what them people did, you know,
What they went
before
through.
they got to that point. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see the sleepless nights where they didn't sleep, where they were just working. You didn't see where they were sacrificing time with their family, sacrificing hours of just work when they were tired, they were sleepy, but they just kept going. You know, people want microwave success, people want overnight success, but it doesn't work like that. If you want overnight success, then you need to go play the lotto. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's the only way you're gonna get overnight success. But if you want to have everlasting success, you know, you got to put the work in now. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to grind now. And that's the only way you're gonna see the results that we all want, you know, that we all want to see in life. And you know, I just feel that, you know, again, it starts with the mindset. That's why this Monday call is dedicated to that. Yeah, we talk about real estate every now and then, but it's really all mental. You know, it's all mental. It's all on what you think. It's all on what you believe. And once you realize that and you take accountability for that, then, you know, you'll start seeing things slowly start changing.
Yeah, I had a good conversation with D the other day, and while he was like, you know, well, he was getting the keys over to that house, and you just kind of realize that everything is about mindset. You know, the reason that he is having, you know, the success that he's having right now is because of the mindset, and you know how he has it made up in his mind of what he's going to do, what is going to happen. And you know, it's just a blessing to see that. I remember back when I was in corporate America, and how I couldn't even get past where I was. I couldn't get past where I was until I started to actually visualize where I wanted to be. You know, until I actually start writing down where I wanted to be, and I started visualizing where I wanted to be. I started saying where I wanted to be. That was the only time that I could really get past where I was, because there was a time where I just used to wonder, how can I get out there? You know, how can I get out there with the other movers and shakers? How can I get out there with the people that are, you know, that don't have that have time, you know, that time and money are not an issue? How can I do that? And not until I started writing it down, you know, this is all while I was in corporate America, brother, you know, not until I started writing it down and started saying it, you know. And I'm not saying I believed it first, because I had to write it down and say it. You know what I'm saying? I had to get it in me, you know, before I started really believing. And you know, I think a lot of us feel like, you know, that believing part is going to be an automatic thing, but it's not always an automatic thing. Sometimes you have to reprogram your mind to where you're supposed to be. You have to reprogram your mind, because, you know, let's just face it, you know, what we're taught is to go to, you know, you know, we're taught to go to college. You know, after college we're supposed to, you know, get a job, you know, and then, you know, after that, you know, you're supposed to retire. You know, that's just what you're taught. That's what you're inundated with. But and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But if you want something a little bit different, then you have to think a little bit differently. You have to think outside of that proverbial box. And once you do that, then you start visualizing things, then you can actually make it happen. The Bible says, to write down your vision and make it plain so that others can run with it. So that's what you have to do, partners, to really get to where you want to go. Is you've got to visualize it, you've got to see it, or you've got to say it, then you see it. And then once you see it mentally, then things will start to manifest themselves, because everything around you will get to will move towards where it is that you want to be. And I know it sounds hokey, I know it sounds spiritual, but it is all true. It is all true. Me and Will are actually manifestations of that. This program is a manifestation of that. Wholesalers Are Us is a manifestation of that. You've got to, you got a vision, you got to write it down, make it plain. And then that belief starts to kick in, the belief that, oh, okay, we can put together a community. You know what I'm saying? We can do this. And then once you do that, the planning the planning is going into effect. And as you plan, then you start believing. If you start doing, you start believing. So, that's the proverbial thing, is just taking the action, and as you take action, then you start believing more and more. And as you start believing more and more, you take an action with the combination of those things, then the manifestation will come. And I promise you, it can go either way. It can go in a good way, or it can go in a bad way. So the great thing about being a human being on this earth is you get a chance to decide what you want for your destiny to be. You have that opportunity to decide that. So, if you just want to be, here, okay, yeah, that's fine, but if you want to be there, then that's fine too. And you've got to go ahead and move forward in that direction. So that's, and like Will said, that's why we started Money Making Motivational Mindset Mondays, was because it is a mindset thing. Sometimes you have nothing but, a call like tonight, to motivate you, to get you where you need to go. And I'm not saying our calls are the only thing, but I think our calls are very, very good, and they motivate us. If they motivate us, I know it's motivating you guys. So again, everything that has happened, is simply a manifestation of thoughts, which are things. And here we are, we're here, we're going to discuss a closing tonight that happened last week. That's the manifestation of a thought, which became a thing. So I'm just excited. I'm excited, my brother. I'm excited about this, Dialing for Dollars program, that God put on us, that God allowed us to do, that God allowed for our team, to share in, God allowed for, us all to make money together. I just remember when I first got my first deal, while I was still in corporate America. And this is the second time I've been in this real estate business, guys. So I remember when I got my first deal while I was still in corporate America, it was a JV deal. It was a joint venture deal. It was a team deal. Per se, I was still on my job. And I happened to make money on the side with real estate. And that gave me even more belief. And it gave me belief to where, when it was time for me to come off my job, I was not scared. You understand what I'm saying? And not being scared is what propelled me into my destiny. Me and Will, we talk all the time about, about the times when, we felt like less of men because, our destinies were not showing themselves. What do I mean by that? There are times that, that you're crying because, things aren't quite happening, or things aren't quite happening the way that you should. You don't see what's really happening. And there are times that you're crying, but really things behind the scenes are working themselves out to get you to your destiny. And that's what you've got to believe. That's why you've got to activate your faith. You've got to, you've got to continue to believe. That's why you've got to keep yourself around the right people, have the right mindset. And because it's all of those things that will get you to a point of where you want to be. I like what you said. You said, where is your belief in having a 6-figure business? But where's your belief in having a 7-figure business? And this is for people that are on the call, that are on our Zoom, that are on Facebook Live. Thank y'all, Facebook Live, for jumping on now. But where's your belief for your 7-figure business? If you have a 6-figure business, where's the belief for the 7-figure business? So again, I made that point to say this: everybody is always believing for something bigger. No matter what level you are, you could be a beginner who hasn't closed their first deal, or you can be veterans like us that are working to get to another level. So we're all in the same boat, family. We all have to believe the same, which is believing bigger, for what it is that God is destined for us to do. God has a purpose for everybody. He has a purpose for everybody, and it's up to each of us to be able to find that purpose for ourselves so that we can achieve our destiny.
I will say one thing that just to piggyback off what you just said, I will say one thing: patience is key.
Yeah.
What you said earlier is key. Right when you think, and I'm just using us as an example, right when you think that nothing is happening and you're wondering like, what's my next move? When I was in that position, when I was wondering what's my next move, I'm praying. A lot of you might say, I'm praying to God. I'm asking God for guidance and asking him to show me what the way is, but I'm still not seeing the results yet. I'm still not seeing nothing. One thing you fail to realize is that's when the time God is working. That's when the time that he's putting things together that you don't see, but he's putting things together in the background, and he's setting things up. And he's putting stuff together. And even though you don't see it at the moment, or you might, be blind of what's going on, he's always working. He's always working, and he's never going to forget you. He's never going to leave you astray. As long as you believe, again, going back to that word believe, as long as you believe, it will come. Your time will come. Everybody's timetable is different. And, everybody's journey is different. I didn't start, real estate till 8 years ago, in my early 30s. We got, friends who are crushing it 18, 19, 20 years old. And I was like, man, I wish I would have started back then. But guess what? It wasn't meant for me to start back then. I went through my 20s and I was on a whole nother path, So now, God got me in a position where I'm blessed now in my late 30s, So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for my position in life. I'm grateful for what God has done for me, and you got to get to a point where you appreciate what God has done for you and understand that, a lot of you, and another thing, a lot of you might feel like, well, I don't have the connections that you might have. Or I don't know the people. I don't, have the resources that you might have. Here's another thing you have to keep in mind. Work with what you got, work with where you are. You know what I'm saying? When my business started, I almost literally didn't have nothing. I had to work with what I had, and I turned nothing into something. So it's a such thing as turning nothing into something. Believe that. You can start where you are. Literally, you might say, you know what? That's easy for you to say. I don't even have $5 to get, a Happy Meal or something from, a fast food restaurant to eat right now. I don't have literally nothing. But guess what you do have? If you have drive, if you have ambition, if you got a cell phone where you can make calls, you have something that you can bring to the table. You're just not thinking outside of the box. Start with where you are, work with what you have, and turn nothing into something. And start from scratch. Work your way up. Don't think you can skip the line always. Don't think you can just jump ahead all the time. Like I've said earlier, you got to grind it out. You got to work. You got to be willing to put in the work in order to see the real results. And I don't know nobody, we talked about this before. I don't know nobody who put in daily results and don't see anything come about it. You know what I'm saying? That's just, it's really impossible. You're not going to put in daily.
It's true in every arena. It's true in every arena. So yeah, you're right. I just saw right here, and you talking about 18, 19 years old. I was talking to a former friend, an actual friend of mine, a former coworker, at the company I was with. And he told me about his son. He told me about his son today, and his son is on the call today. What's up, man? He said he just found out about the wholesaling a couple of days ago, and he's been interested ever since. He's only 19 years old, and he feels like this can be a life-changing opportunity. You were talking about, had I known about this when I was 18, 19, and it wasn't destined for you to know about it at 18, 19, but it's destined for him to know about this at 18, 19 years old, because like we say, we got, you know, we got partners that are making money at 19 years old now, you know what I'm saying? That are just crushing this business, you know, because of their belief, and they have unlimited belief. So, you know, this is the right time. This is the right time to do this. You know, this is, you know, I mean, you have chosen, you know, a unique and a right time to actually get into this business. I'm going to say this. I believe that you've chosen, you know, to meet with the right people, you know, to partner with the right people, you know, within, you know, within this business. So, you know, all I'll say is got the hoods, you know, that's all I'll say is when you seek to partner with people, you know, like if you're brand new in this business, when you seek to partner with people, get the hoods. And Delano, I want you to get that hood, please, if you don't mind. Just get that hood for the one that just happened. Pull that hood up, and we'll work with that. But partner, you want to talk about this deal? You want to delve into it now, or you want to wait a little bit more, or what you want to do?
Now we about halfway into the hour,
Okay.
so I guess we can jump into it.
Okay.
Congratulations! I just seen it's two Daniels that sent the message.
Okay.
One of them he got a question. We can definitely answer that toward the end of the call. And then one Daniel said, I guess the 19-year-old. He said he's Daniel. 19-year-old kid. He said he had a deal under contract right now.
Daniel, text us.
Hey, send us the deal, man. You know, we might be able to, you know, if you don't have a buyer yet, we'd definitely love to assist you with that. And
absolutely.
Send us an email at reiwholesalersrus@gmail.com. We'll definitely type that in the notes. So yeah, send us over that deal, man. You know, we'll definitely be interested in either buying it, or we'll be definitely interested in partnering with you on it. So yeah, definitely send that over to us. We appreciate that.
Daniel say Daniel 19 years old. Daniel
19 years old. So that's a prime example. It's 17, 18, 19. Real estate
20 now. He's 20 now.
Real estate really don't.
Right.
It doesn't have any, you know, it doesn't really care your age, your gender. It doesn't really care about none of that. It just really cares what you bring to the table. You know, that's the beauty about the business. I see, you know, senior citizens still making money, you know, in their 60s, you know, still making money, in their 70s, still making money in real estate. I see, you know, high school graduates just getting out of high school making money in real estate. So really, no, it doesn't matter. You know, none of that. It
don't matter.
Doesn't matter. So yeah, let's jump into this deal real quick. I know we about halfway through.
Hey, D, you got the hood pulled? Oh, I know. Yeah. Delano. Let's see.
Hey y'all. Okay, I'm here on. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm transitioning to my laptop.
Okay. All right, got you. Are you gonna still be able to talk with your laptop, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. All right. So yeah, just give him a couple minutes.
Put your little Steelers hat on, didn't you? You just had to do it.
Yeah, he had to put it on.
Just had to do it, didn't you?
I need a haircut, so I had to put on a hat.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And I just wonder if we can. I don't know if we can get Lachette to talk tonight. But, you know, we'll see. You know, we're just gonna share with you guys. Lachette like to play the background. But we're just gonna share with you guys tonight a deal that we got done on our Dialing for Dollars program. You know, we're super excited about this program. I mean, you know, this is the kind of program here where you know, Wholesalers R Us has been blessed. We're blessed for leads. I mean, we have an abundance of leads, and we, you know, we're blessed to have leads, and you know, we're blessed to be able to provide those leads to our partners. We provide the, you know, the ability to make calls, you know, to our partners, you know, through a specific program that we have. And you know, we provide the, you know, we provide the expertise, we provide the insight to make sure that deals get closed, and we do it in a way to where, you know, you don't have to come out of any money in your pocket, because a lot of times that's the biggest obstacle in this business is, because and overwhelmingly, just being in this thing for almost 6 years, overwhelmingly, when we ask people about, what's their biggest obstacle, and a lot of times it's money. I mean, it's just straight up money. And I mean, we realize that, you can get in this business with no money. Yes, you can. You can do this with no money, but we've chosen, just like over time, we've chosen just to eliminate any excuses that anybody would have. And not to say that you would have excuses, but we've chosen just say, hey, there's a way that you can get into this business. You can get into it free. You can get into it, to where you don't have to pay any money, and be able to get your check instantly. So that's, that, and that's what we do. That's what we do. So this deal, and we're waiting on D to get back in. Let's see. Let me see if D, when you come back in, you might have to raise your hand, because he's working to bring that HUD and put that HUD into place. But yeah, that's how we do it. So, anybody that would be interested in this program, we just ask you to work. What can you talk about the requirements, Uncle Bill?
Did you want me to I was just gonna ask you, did you want me to pull up the HUD?
Yeah, you can pull it up. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can go ahead and pull it up.
If he was having some difficulties with it. You want me to do it, D? Because I just pulled it up. If you want me to share my screen and do it. I don't know how you do the talking though with it, but I'll try.
You can. Yeah, I mean, you have high tech, low tech. But yeah, you can. There you go. Okay. You got it?
Yeah, you see it.
Yeah, I can see it. Okay. Family, can y'all see it? Let us know that you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we just had this property over here.
Y'all can't see it? Oh yeah, nobody. So Deanna say yeah.
Just to show you guys a deal we just recently did. The address is over here, 4029 Kirksford, over here in Decatur. Just to show you the deal we did. You see the contract price. We had it under contract at 95, and we ended up selling this deal for what was it, 114?
I think it's 115.
Let's see. Let's say 116.
116?
It probably been 114. Let's say 116 rather. For some reason. Must have been a typo on that. But anyway, we end up selling it for like 114. I think this gross amount is a little different. But if you come down here, you see the assignment fees. We end up making $19,000 on this deal. So if you see the assignment fees, you see my company right here, Big House Investors, 9,500, and Tim's company, HD Investments, 9,500. So that 95 equals 19,000. So that's what the team collectively did on this last deal, $19,000. And again, like Tim said earlier, it was a team effort. Delano, was making calls, and this was, I want to say, a probate. Was this a probate deal? What type of league was?
What kind of league was D?
This was an eviction lead from
eviction. Okay.
Yeah, this was an eviction lead from I think August or July.
Okay. And shout out to Deanna, you know what I'm saying? We get all our lists from Deanna, so shout out to Deanna. This was earlier this year that we got. And Delano was the one who made the call. And Delano, if you want to kind of, we showed the numbers where we made 19K. If you want to go into the storyline behind it, because there was a lot of moving parts. I think, you and Tim was in the background, seller, and there was a tenant inside. So it's a little story behind it. So you guys want to, share what happened, how we get to this point of making 19K. You guys want to take it from here.
Go ahead,
all right. So again, I'm not sure. I don't think y'all enough. Will and Tim and Lachette, I don't think y'all enough for this program, for being the awesome people that y'all are, and transforming my life. Like I'm so grateful that God put y'all in my life, and to pretty much like to bless me and everybody else. So I just want to thank y'all for that. But as far as this deal, again, this came from the Dollar for Dollars program that Will and Tim have created. And I think this was I don't remember what month this was. I think it was like a July or August eviction, the cab eviction list. But long story short, of course I've called. I think it wasn't that many numbers on that list, probably about 40 or something like that. And I called this lady. She was the daughter. Her mother moved to South Carolina with her and her husband and her family. And the problem or the situation was that they had an uncle that was living there who that they filed an eviction for because the mom, she's a little bit older and she wanted to sell the house.
She had Alzheimer's.
Oh yeah, she had Alzheimer's as well, and she just couldn't deal with the house. And they originally wanted the uncle to do good, but sometimes family members they don't, or anybody, they just don't hold up their end of the bargain. And so when I got there, I met her, Mrs. Miller, and her husband at the house. Come to find out, the uncle was subleasing the house to somebody else, and he wasn't paying rent. So he was collecting rent from the young lady and her boyfriend that were living there, and he wasn't paying his mom or Mrs. Miller anything. So it was a really, really interesting situation, to say the least. Like I said, when I got there, the young lady, she thought that the uncle owned the house, and it was a weird situation. But long story short, it took me a while to be able to actually get to the house. I think I called that lady over 30 times.
Wow.
30 times?
I had to,
How many times?
I had to follow with that lady a lot. Like I called that lady
Y'all
almost
hear that?
every day.
Y'all hear that?
30.
Y'all hear that?
And that I think that's
They know
good.
that.
You know how many people that been gave up after the 5th call, after the 3rd call, and you called 30 times to make 19K? Wow.
Yeah, like she answered maybe like this, maybe the 10th time, but I had to keep calling her. Like she kind of, when I first got on the phone with her, she sounded somewhat interested, but it wasn't what was important to her at the time. I think she's still in school. She's working on her doctorate.
She's trying to get a doctorate. Yeah.
So this house, it was important, but it wasn't on the top of the list. So when I was able to finally get to meet her and her husband at the house, of course, I walked around the house, build a relationship. I don't like the word rapport. It sounds too cliche. Build a relationship. Built an immediate relationship with her and her husband. Her husband is a real cool guy. Really, really nice guy, Mr. Miller. And like I said, when we got there, the young lady that was renting, she didn't even know that she was subleasing. The uncle, he was a character as well. It was a time, actually, when we actually figured out the numbers with Mrs. Miller. We actually came up with some numbers that actually worked for everybody. He came back to the house to live there, and he was supposed to be gone. Like she tried to evict him a long time ago. I think in July or June or something like that. And it was crazy because it was a couple of times where I had to actually went to the house and I met the uncle, and he I guess he knew that they were going to sell the house, but you know how some people do. He was a squatter.
Right.
He was squatting inside the house. So long story short, we were really able to help them out, and I'm really happy about that because he wasn't holding his end in a bargain with paying the mom rent, who was older. She can't fight and fend for herself. So she's living there in South Carolina with Mrs. Miller, and that was a problem with them too. They didn't really want to come back to Atlanta to
hold on, D.
Oh, I'm going
That's
too
the
fast.
reason that they had to sell. That's the reason that, because the buy. Okay, here it is, guys. Here it is. This is what you're looking for. You're looking for motivated buyers or motivated sellers. And this lady was a motivated seller. At one time, she didn't appear to be a motivated seller because all the 30 times that he was trying to get with her. But then that one time when she came back down to Atlanta, she just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. Keep coming back down to Atlanta when you just want your life. So this is important, guys. You've got to catch that seller in what they call a change window. It's a change window. And that's when you've got to catch that seller. That's why you can't give up, on calling people, is you just never know when they're in their change window. Good point. Go ahead, D.
And I'm glad that you brought that up, Tim, because one thing that she kept saying when I was talking to her and her husband, they kind of didn't really seem like they wanted to sell, but it was just something that made me feel like, just keep following up with them. Because at one time when I was asking them, hey, if you go ahead and, keep the house, what are you guys going to do? And they made it seem like, hey, we'll take care of the repairs and put it on the market ourselves.
Right.
I'm not sure if y'all remember that, but that was
I remember
a situation that one time they were saying, hey, yeah, we got the money, we'll fix the house up. And I just kept following up with them, just like y'all tell me to do all the time. Just keep following up with them. And I got to the point where they were saying, yeah, you know what, we'll sell the house. We'll sell the house. What can y'all do to help us? And
it's a question came in. Sarah, she said, what was the conversation each time you followed up? So I guess, like what I guess every time you kept talking, like how did the conversation change, or what was it like, or what was they telling you? I guess is what she's trying to ask.
Every time I called her, basically she was telling me, before that, she told me that she would come down. The very first conversation, she said that she'll probably be down within the next week. As a matter of fact, yeah, that's what it was. She said, I'll be there next week, Saturday. And then I didn't hear from her. And then then I had to call her like a couple of more times after that. And she apologized, said, hey, I got a little busy. A lot of people would have quit if they weren't able to go on that appointment that next week. And I called her again, and she said we had to reschedule. And basically she was telling me that she had other things. She had to do other things, so she wasn't able to actually come to the house. And plus, she lived in South Carolina, so she had other things that was more important to her than to actually get to the house. And again, this is the daughter, not the mom that I was speaking. I never spoke with the mom. The mom owned the house. The daughter was the power of attorney. And
I think she sensed that you were really trying to fight for the deal, and she respected it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a difference between being aggravating and being respectful and just following up, because sometimes people really be busy, you got to determine the two, are you aggravating the seller, or are you really just following up and being diligent and being a man of your word? Because people, if you say you're going to call somebody back, or if you say you're going to follow with somebody, do what you say you're going to do, because people pay attention to that. People, even though it might have been 10 or 20 times, you just got to do what you got to do. And I think while you was calling, you were building a relationship, because I think she got to the point where she felt like she could trust you, and then, I think from there you kind of passed the relationship over to Tim, and then Tim, he, came in and reignited their relationship as well. And, I just think that it's a matter of them trusting you guys, and they believe that it was in good hands,
Well, I think it's important because like you as the initial contact, family, and this is what I'm talking about. You guys as the initial contact, is very important that seller trust you, because there are going to be bumps in the road, and the bump in the road was the uncle. And that was the thing that we had to make sure that we handled, was the uncle. So you have to make sure that seller trusts you and likes you. And that's it. Once you get the lead, make sure they trust you and like you. I mean, it's not it's not a hard thing. It's just making sure, like, every time, just following up, doing the right things, reminding them about something, this, that, find the right excuses to call, all that stuff. And once they trust you, then you can automatically transfer that trust over to the experts. It's an easy thing. And Delano made my job easy, because she liked him and she trusted him so much. So what he did what's called a TO in the retail world. It's where you do a turnover. Okay. And you actually taking all the trust that person has for you, and you're transferring it to another individual, a person that's there to close. And so we did a three-way conversation. She didn't really hear from Delano anymore because now she had me, and I was the person that was set up to actually take on the problem with the uncle, because we had to get that uncle out of that house. Will had found the buyer, and the buyer's requirement was that property was going to be delivered empty. That was the requirement, was that the property was going to be delivered empty. So that means the uncle couldn't be about to leave the house. The uncle had to be gone by the time we closed. And thank God,
literally is like, I think we was set to close at 2:00, and we was moving out like 12:30. It was like a crunch time. It was like super crunch time. We literally was at the house at like 12:30, helping them get his stuff out of there, putting his stuff on the back of their truck, trying to make sure that we was able to hand the buyer the key, because we had made a promise that, hey, we were going to deliver that property empty. So we were literally like putting stuff on the truck at 12:30 and making sure that at 1:30, 2:00, that paper was going to get signed and everything.
And I just want to emphasize, part of what we do is we make sure that we have a buyer. We make sure we have a qualified buyer. If it's not us, we make sure we have a qualified buyer, the right person that's able to buy. Buyers, like if they're buying with cash, listen, we make sure they're able to buy with cash. If they're getting a loan, we make sure we know what's going on specifically with that loan, so that it can close on time with the right attorneys to be able to handle those types of transactions. So that's the thing that we have to provide on our side. And also we have to follow up with the attorneys, making sure that, the attorneys have this, the attorney has all the right information, from the seller. So those are some things that we have to do on the back end, and not to mention getting that person out of the property, because nowadays people aren't just leaving properties voluntarily. So sometimes, what it took, was, we had to go over there a couple of times, and big ups to Delano. This is like, he's gone. He's working on his other deals. He's working on other calls, and that's the service that we provide. Is we make sure that all that stuff happens, and then you can just look up and be like, hey, okay, now it's time to collect the check. And that's the service that we provide as a team through Wholesalers R Us. So yeah, like you said, the very last day, as the buyer was coming to do their inspection, we were getting that person out of the house. Miss Shakita and her husband, God bless them, because they were very gracious. And with the uncle, they didn't do anything bad to the uncle. They even took down his bed for him, and set his bed outside for him, which was a Christ-like thing to do. And it ended up being a blessing to everybody. I think Shakita and her mom, they ended up with over $40,000, in cash, to their pockets, which you don't know what that does for families. So when you get a seller who, like Delano said, appeared to not really care at first, they appeared to not really care at first, till about that 30th call. They get that 30th call to finally getting a check of over $40,000. Imagine the economy that, because you made the right call and you kept on calling, you kept on being diligent. Imagine the economy that you just created. A seller got blessed. You and your team got blessed. The entire team got blessed. The buyer got blessed, because now they got a house, a project, and now they can work on. The people that are working with them are getting blessed. Their construction crew, they're gonna get blessed. The attorneys, they're getting blessed. And finally, the end buyer, the person that's gonna buy at retail, they're gonna get blessed. So the real estate agents, they're gonna get blessed. So just imagine, because you made a call and you caught somebody at the right time within their change window, look at everything that happened because of that. And that's why this program over these next 60 days, we're looking for 10 partners, 10 partners that are, that are going to do, their first deal, second deal, don't matter, but we're going to partner with you and help you get to the finish line, for this fourth quarter. That's what it's all about, getting to the finish line. We're going to help you get to the finish line on this fourth quarter. So we've been blessed. We're blessed to be a part of this. We're blessed to be able to put this program in place. And somebody wants to know, was there a mortgage or was the home paid for? Yes, there was a mortgage there was a mortgage on the property. I think the mortgage was close to about $40,000 or something like that. And that's a good question that you're asking, because during our discovery period of our sellers, we always ask, is there a mortgage? Do you own it free and clear? We always ask, do you own it as a mortgage? Is it free and clear? Blah, blah, blah. Because, reason being is, a mortgage could be a hindrance. You know what I'm saying? The property could be getting ready to go into foreclosure. You don't know. I mean, there's just so many different things that can happen. And it also helps our attorneys find out, that pertinent information that they need to know within that place. Also, with the mortgage, it kind of helps if there's a mortgage or not. You can always ask a person how much you want to put in your pocket. How much you want to put in your pocket. If there's a mortgage, how much you want to put in your pocket. And 9 times out of 10, they got a number. They got a number in their mind. You guys are going to help a person that gets properties under contract with a cash buyer. Stephanie, I just want to make sure that we understand what you're asking. You said you guys are going to help a person that gets properties under contract with a yes. That's exactly what we do. That's our function. We make sure, one of the functions is to make sure that we have qualified cash buyers. Everybody these days say that they're buyers, and listen, that's cool. But our job is to make sure that we have qualified cash buyers, which means that we know they're going to close. We know they're going to close. Me and Will have a combined experience of over 20 years in this business. So, our list is constantly vetted. People trust us because we've been in the community for a long time. Yes, would this process be like a JV contract? When we're doing our Dialing for Dollars program, we're doing it as a team. We work as a team. We do JV. We JV all the time. We JV all the time with a lot of our partners. So yes, I mean, it can be a JV contract, whatever it needs to be. Whatever it needs to be, we'll work it out. We'll work it out. So hopefully I answered that question. Did you want to piggyback on that?
Let me piggyback on that. So we work differently. So we do JV with other wholesalers. So if another wholesaler approach us and they got a deal, typically that'll be a JV situation. Right. But speaking about our Dollar for Dollars program, that's based on percentages, and those percentages can be discussed once we have a one-on-one consultation with you. So if that's something I know, I see a lot of you guys wondering how can you get started, or want to inquire about the Dollar for Dollars program that Delano is a part of, that he actually was able to close this deal through.
Inaugurated.
Just send us an email request, and we'll set up a consultation with you. And that's REIWholesalersRus@gmail.com. That's REIWholesalersRus@gmail.com. Cornell said, "Congrats, team." Deanna said, "Congrats, guys." Thank you again, Deanna, for your list. Go to Law Clerk on Demand, get the great list. There was another question that a gentleman asked earlier tonight. I just want to make sure. He said, "Hi, Will and Delano and Tim. I recently lost my job due to COVID." Daniel, he said, "I have solid credit and can easily do analysis to underwrite a deal. What are the best ways to foster a relationship with an investor if I can easily provide and find good deals specifically in the multifamily space?" You know, I mean, it's a good point. I mean, anytime you can bring value to anybody, you know, I think, you know, it's a blessing. It's always good. If you say you can underwrite deals or whatever, you know, I just think that you need to find the right partners, whoever that is, whether it's us or whoever it is, just find the right partners and just let them know what you can bring to the table. You know, people think that, you know, building relationships, you have to come financially with something to the table, but that's not necessarily true. You know, a lot of people can bring their drive and their hunger to the table, you know, and to me, that is just as much, if not better than cash, you know, in a cash investment, because somebody who got the hustle and grind and they got the mentality to want to win, you know, that outbeats, you know, cash, you know, to me. And that person is going to work until they, you know, succeed. So whatever it is you bring, you say you can underwrite deals. I mean, you know, we'll figure something out. You know, if you looking to partner with us, you know, send us an email and, you know, we definitely can have a conversation to see if it's a fit. And that goes for everybody who's interested in partnering with us. Again, you know, send us an email to reiwholesalesorus@gmail.com. Whatever you need, you know, you might be a buyer listening. You know, I know a couple of buyers that's listening right now that's online. If you guys looking for more deals, you know, of course, send us an email, you know, and just let us know what you're looking for. We'll definitely like to accommodate, you know, your needs. And if there's any other questions, I know we're getting ready to close it down. We're about at our hour mark, but we definitely don't mind answering, you know, a few more questions. If you guys got any questions that we can address.
Somebody want to know what JV meant, and JV is sorry for just saying JV. We apologize, family. We assume, but JV is joint venture. It is a joint venture. That means that one person is partnering up with another person to finish an opportunity. That's what a JV is. So
shout out to Big D. He said, "Congrats on the success. Y'all deserve it." What's up, D?
What's up, big dog? What's up, Darius Ashley? But yeah, joint venture. You know, I bring the buyer, you bring the seller, that kind of thing. Peanut butter and jelly, joint venture.
That's perfect.
It's all good together.
Yep.
So yeah, if y'all don't.
If we don't have any other questions, guys, you know, we definitely appreciate y'all joining us tonight. Hopefully, we was able to share some good information and really this deal that we shared tonight. It will hopefully it inspired you guys to say, you know what, that's going to be me next. You know, I want you guys to say that's going to be me next. I want to close a 20K, 30K, 40K deal, 10K deal, whatever. You know, hopefully that inspired you to want to get started. Hopefully you get started and, you know, possibly want to work with us or, you know, at some point joint venture with us. And we're looking forward to it. We want to finish this fourth quarter really, really strong. And the only way we could do it is, you know, with you guys, you know, with our team, with our community. And Daniel, I don't want to say the other part, I might say it wrong, but Daniel said this was great motivation. First time seeing the hood. Wow, that was the first time seeing the hood. Well, hey, don't let it be your last time seeing the hood.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
First time you seeing somebody else's hood, but yours is right around the corner.
That's right.
Kevin Bullock said good information. Appreciate that, Kevin.
Only deal with people that show you hoods. Ask them to show you a hood.
Thank you for the motivation call. Daniel said, we appreciate it. We appreciate the feedback you guys giving. You know, we normally don't show hoods. I think out of the 6 years we've been hostels, the first time we actually showed a hood. But again, it wasn't to show off. It wasn't to brag. It really was to motivate you guys tonight. We wanted to let you guys see that it is possible.
It's real. It's real. It's real.
Money in real estate is really real. You know, to know that, you know, you can make that kind of money off a real estate transaction is awesome. You know, so.
And when you're qualifying somebody, when you're qualifying a mentor or a senior partner, then definitely ask them about HUDs. You know, what do you have to show that you are qualified to show me what you're doing? That's it.
Daniel says, deal with people that show you HUDs. That's funny he said that because we were talking to John the other day, and he was like, all these people charging thousands of dollars to mentor. They charging $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to do mentorships. First thing you need to do is find out, are they still in the business? Are you still doing the business? Like, show me a hood. Like, you know,
Be a hood.
$20,000. Show me what you're doing right now. You know,
Right.
show me what you're doing. So, you know, vet anybody who you want to partner
Vet 'em.
with, call a mentor or anything. Vet people. You know, see are they actually still in the business. You know, we're in the business. We do this full time. This is
Every day.
24/7 with us. We do this every single day. You know, and we love it. So, again, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Again, we pray that it was inspiration for you guys, and we hope that you guys be sharing your hood with us next and partnering with us.
I want to say big up for you close. I want to say big up to my nephew Jaden. Happy birthday, buddy. Happy birthday.
Oh, and happy birthday to my brother too. I posted something on my brother. His birthday was today. My brother was Derek, so happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday, right?
Daniel said, just sent y'all the deal. It's a quad. Okay, we love quads.
We love them.
Love quads. Sarah said, great point. Show me the money. I know that's right. So yeah. So y'all be blessed. God bless y'all. Stay safe.
Love you all.
We'll see you
Wear your
guys
mask.
Monday, same time, 8 p.m. Peace out.
Peace.